Alright, so in the description to the video, you will find helpful links to any parts that I use, crush washer sizes, torque specifications. So please check the video description and enjoy the video. Okay, so coming under the back, notice I moved my jack. Where you see these jacks now are not jack points, they're just emergency backup. So never try to jack from where I've got them. They're just to help if something happened with my jack stand. So coming under the back, see everything we're working on is right where that floor jack would have been. This was our jack point. So you see where I got my ratchet right here with an extension going through this hole, because on the other side of this hole is my rear differential fill bolt. So going down a little further, so right under that jack point, you'll see this is the rear differential right here. So where I've got this socket is where I need to loosen my fill bolt. So I used an extension to get me back, get me on this other side, and right here. So anyway, so that's the fill bolt, and then the drain bolt is right here, right here. Okay, so same process where we make sure we can get our fill bolt off and removed, set aside. That takes a 20mm crush washer. Then we make sure we get our fill bolt, our drain bolt off. It's a 18mm crush washer. Both of those will tighten to 35 foot-pounds. So we'll drain it, we'll replace the crush washer, torque it down, then we'll fill. Capacity on this I think is 1.92 quarts. So we'll put 2 quarts in a pitcher, put that in, and see if that does it. And we're gonna right now try and get these bolts loose. They are tough. So again, wear some good gloves and be watchful. Never put the pressure towards your face. Don't want to knock any teeth out. So we're gonna do the fun part of loosening up these bolts right now. So it's really hard to get leverage when you're under like this without using a lift, but I want to make sure that my face isn't under this because I'm pulling it down towards me. So I'm going to keep my head out of the way so that if this breaks free, it'll go over my head like that. All right, I think the factory might be doing a little higher torques than their manual says. So what I'm going to do on this, I'm going to switch to a breaker bar. I'm going to get my socket out of here. I'm going to switch to a breaker bar and a pipe. So I'll be right back. Plan B, 3/8 inch breaker bar. You can tell these are very small, so I'm not getting a lot of torque out of that. Put that on. I got a pipe that I can slide over this and get more torque when I need it. So I'm going to try to get this set up. Okay. Yep, it got it. I was hoping that wasn't just the end falling off the bolt. So that was a bear. Before I loosen that and get leaks and have to work around leaks, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other one. I don't need that long of an extension on the other one, but I probably would benefit from, well, I might, but we'll see. You want to basically use no extension if you don't need it, and short one if you do. Try this, the shortest one, and put that in. Since I already got the breaker bar, I'm just going to stick with it. Need to think through it. Always make sure you're going the right direction. So don't want to be tightening it when we're supposed to be loosening it. All right, let's see. Okay, that wasn't so bad, mainly probably because I could get a better angle on it. All right, so now I get my drain pan under here. I got them both cracked open. That was not fun. Taking the top one off. Actually, I think I'm just gonna get the bottom one off so that the top one I don't have to worry about leaking. Okay, spilled a little. Now I don't have to worry about the top one leaking at all because the level's down. Okay, both my crush washers stayed on my bolts, which is nice. All right. Just for my back and neck purposes, I'm going to slide on out of here for a second to show you these crush washers instead of staying in this position forever. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, so this is the larger one on the top. This is the one that was a bear. This is our old crush washer. Always make sure you keep track of that. So we're gonna put that over there. We're gonna throw it away. I'll just keep it right here because I'm gonna put my new ones on right now so I don't mix them up. So this is the top one. It is different. It's got a 20 millimeter, just like the transfer case assembly has a 20 millimeter. So I have a new 20 millimeter right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. So now that's ready to go. Set it right back under there. Now this is smaller. It's got an 18, so I'm gonna take that off. So those are my trash ones. But you see this one has a magnet. This is the drain bolt, has a magnet so it can catch metal shavings. And this looks very clean for a first rear diff change and 32,000 miles. So you see the metal shavings on this rag. See that? That's hardly anything. That's a very good sign. So, because usually as the time goes on, they get less and less over time. I've never seen one that clean. So here's our new 18 millimeter crush washer ready to go. These are supposed to go, I'm gonna put, since these are both dirty and we don't have any, I don't like to mix my old and new crush washers, even though you should be able to tell. So now that I've got my new ones out of here, I know that those are all to be thrown in the trash. So now we'll put the fill bolts on by hand. All right, so we're gonna go back under here. Our drip, keep forgetting my rag. Okay, it is barely dripping. So we're gonna take our drain bolt, the one with the magnet and 18 millimeter crush washer. Give it a little wipe clean there, just to make sure there's nothing on the surface. We're gonna start threading it back in by hand, as always. I always start things by hand. Don't want to have problems by cross threading. I'll take my torque wrench. I believe the spec is 35 on this. Okay. Okay. All right, for our rear differential fluid, the owner's manual says 1.92 quarts. So it takes Honda dual pump fluid 2. It's just over $10 a quart. I'll put all that in the description. So when my wife went and picked this up, I went and called ahead, got everything organized at the parts counter. My wife picked it up for me. I look at it and I'm like, this is not the bottle I'm used to. A gray bottle with Honda and red and dual pump fluid 2. It says Acura all-wheel drive fluid DPSF, which is dual pump fluid, but not dual pump fluid 2. So I'm thinking that we got the wrong stuff. So I do a Google search and quickly find that due to supply chain issues, Honda is using this instead, and it is the exact same fluid. So I got that confirmed. So if you're doing this, you ask for dual pump fluid 2, but if you get this bottle, it is the same thing. It has to do with global supply chain issues. That's what I've been told. So what we did, we could use this quart pump that you thread into the quart and pump it out like this, but it takes like 100 or more pumps to do it that way. So what I started doing is I put the 2 quarts in this pitcher. It's red. I'm gonna use the Mityvac fluid extractor, like a big syringe. Okay, so we're gonna get our first plunger out of here. We'll put that in there. So you can tell, yeah, it's probably gonna take more like 8 to 12 of these. We'll see. It's gonna take me a while. So we'll see. So basically all I'm doing now, I'm gonna feed this through that same hole that my socket was fed through. Make sure the tube's in the hole, and then push in on the syringe. And we just keep doing that until it leaks out. When it leaks out, we know we're done. So now what I gotta try to do is get all that in here for this last one. This hopefully will be our last one. So I might have to, you know, tilt the picture a little bit. Just try to get it as much as I can in here. Okay. So that's pretty good. A few drops at the bottom. Okay, the owner's manual calls for 1.92 quarts. We put in 2 quarts. It didn't quite drain, but we're not going to open up another quart bottle to get a couple drops in. I'm going to go ahead and get this in there. Gonna need our extension for that. Get it started. Can't really get my hand up there. It's going in nice. Okay, now that I got it kind of there, I'm gonna grab a rag, just kind of make sure everything's clean. Okay. Now we got our torque at 35 foot-pounds. Get our ratchet on there, our torque wrench. There we go. Okay, got that. That's done. Now, that completes the rear diff. I hope this has been helpful to you. I'll put a whole bunch of links in the description for parts and torque specs and crush washer sizes, types of fluids, all those kind of things. So please look in the description and you'll find everything that you need there. Feel free to ask a question in the comments, and thank you for watching.